Hey, good morning, everyone. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for a Puck It with Jo, and I know we're going early today, but I'm going to spend the afternoon with my daughter. So I want to get these bets out to you and not miss the show. 6 games to go over, one game that really doesn't count, the Seattle Kraken versus the Anaheim Ducks. Not in love with that game, but we will go over each and every game here. There are so many playoff implications and so many teams not solidified either in their wild card spot or within the division. You look at some of these and it's just mind-blowing how tight the race is to make the playoffs for some of these teams. So let's jump into the first game here. Let's just look at who has clinched so far in the Atlantic. The Boston Bruins have clinched and the Florida Panthers have clinched. Toronto right on the edge of clinching. In the Metro, we have the Rangers have clinched and the Carolina Hurricanes have clinched. The wild card in the Eastern Conference, the Tampa Bay Lightning sitting first place right now with 93 points. The New York Islanders sitting in second, bumping out the Washington Capitals with that loss last night. So the New York Islanders with 83 points. But like I said, tight battle here. Washington Capitals have 82 points and a game in hand. The Detroit Red Wings have 82 points, tied with the Washington Capitals, but the Caps have had more wins in regulation, so they would break that tiebreaker. The Pittsburgh Penguins, after last night, have 81 points. Phenomenal game versus the Caps. Sidney Crosby wasn't able to get those points on the board, but the Penguins did get the win. And the Buffalo Sabres still not mathematically out of things here with 77 points. Now, they would have to leapfrog over the Penguins, the Red Wings, the Caps, and the Islanders for that last wild card spot. But we know anything can happen. They've still got 7 games in hand, and this team isn't giving up. So that will be the first game we talk about right away. Looking at the Western Conference, we have the Dallas Stars have clinched, the Colorado Avalanche have clinched, and the Winnipeg Jets have clinched in the Central. In the Pacific, the Vancouver Canucks have clinched. Edmonton yet to have clinched that second spot in the Pacific, and Vegas sitting third. Now, Vegas has 92 points and 95 points here for the Edmonton Oilers. The wild card positioning in the West is just as crazy. The Nashville Predators sitting first in the West with 82 points right now. 1 point behind them is the LA Kings with 91 points. Both of these teams have played 76 games. The St. Louis Blues, 76 games as well. They're sitting here with 84 points. So there's a huge gap between that last wild card spot for the LA Kings. They are holding on to that spot nicely, but you do see the Minnesota Wild sitting there with 75 games and 81 points. So they would have to get over the St. Louis Blues, and they'd need the Kings to go on a big losing streak here. But the Kings and the Nashville Predators, these two teams, only 1 point between the two. Now eliminated: the Seattle Kraken, the Calgary Flames, the Arizona Coyotes, the Anaheim Ducks, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the San Jose Sharks. So Montreal and Columbus also eliminated. The Ottawa Senators, the New Jersey Devils are still not officially eliminated, but it's just a matter of a couple of games here, you guys. So let's move on. Let's talk about these games. We're going to quickly break down each and every one of them. We talked about the implications where all these teams are sitting. The New York Rangers are playing the Red Wings. Now, the Red Wings are in this battle here. Again, the Red Wings have, let me just pull it up for you guys. The Red Wings have played 75 games. They have 82 points, so they have a game in hand on some of these teams. The Washington Capitals are sitting right above them. The New York Islanders are occupying that second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, so they're looking to take that over. The New York Rangers have 106 points. This team is looking to get the President's Trophy. They're trying to hold off the Carolina Hurricanes, who are chasing them in the Metro as well. So a lot on the line for both of these teams. Because there's so much on the line, I do think this one has the opportunity of going to OT at plus 340. Now, I know the New York Rangers are a much stronger team than the Red Wings, but this Red Wings team is at home, and I love the plus money that we are getting on them. We're going to get the best effort out of the Detroit Red Wings. I feel like if Detroit makes the playoffs, they're going to go out in the first round just because all their effort is going to be expanded trying to get to the playoffs. Where teams like the Rangers, although they want the win and they want to get the President's Trophy and they want to finish first in the Metro, they won't have to expand as much energy to do so. So the Red Wings sitting fifth in the Atlantic, 82 points. They are in complete playoff mode here. I do think at plus 125, let's just pull up the odds. It has moved a little bit, plus 120 here on the money line. I still see the value, minus 144 here for the New York Rangers. Total 6.5. minus 132 to the under. I am looking at Alex Leon of the Red Wings to come out phenomenally strong. If they're able to get this win, it's because Alex Leon is on fire tonight. His save shots on goal prop is 28.5 to the over at minus 114. And when we look at Igor Shesterkin, his number 25.5 minus 122 to the over. I am going to play on Alex Leon in this one. I'm going to take the Red Wings at home at plus 120, the overtime at plus 340. Patrick Kane, I do think, will be hugely impactful here for the Red Wings. But Panarin, his power play ability to get those points on the board is so strong for the New York Rangers. If the Red Wings end up in the box, I do expect him to get the power play point. I can't say no to the plus money on Panarin at plus 125. So I'll also be hitting on that. I do think the Red Wings do have it tonight, Raymond. So I'm with you on that. We're getting great plus money on them. They have way too much to play for not to get this win. Okay. Let's jump back up. I jumped kind of into that. Well, it's still 7:00 time. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Buffalo Sabres. Now, odds on this one. The Buffalo Sabres are minus 120 at home and plus 100 for the Philadelphia Flyers. Total 6.5, minus 132 to the under and plus 108 to the over. I'm going to take this one to the over. I look at both of these teams. We have a younger goalie. He made his debut in relief versus the Islanders. Fred Tovich, I believe you would say it. Fedotov is confirmed in net. So he came out in relief and he did pretty strong. 2 goals on 21 shots on net. I just don't think with the Buffalo Sabres not mathematically out of the equation here that we're going to see them go easy on him. Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch have been so strong for this team, and I do think they'll be able to find the back of his net. Now, Lankinen has been strong for the Buffalo Sabres, but he's had those off nights, and the Philadelphia Flyers also fighting to hold on to their third place in the Metro with 83 points. They haven't been helping themselves out as of late. They've been absolutely struggling out there. It seems like they can't win a game to save their lives. They've gone 0-3-2 in their last 5 games and 2-5-3 in their last 10. Looking at the Buffalo Sabres, they're not helping themselves out either. This team has been inconsistent out there, going 4-4 in their last 8 games. I do like the Sabres, though, here at home. 77 points, not completely out of it. I think this is another one that has the opportunity of going to OT. But I'm not going to play the OT in this one. I'm just going to take the over 6.5 at plus 108. I'm going to look at Tage Thompson for his points tonight. If Buffalo is able to get the win, it's because Tage is absolutely on fire. And Buffalo has won 7 of the last 10 meetings over the Philadelphia Flyers. So I do think they have the opportunity here to capitalize on a Flyers team that is exhausted out there on the ice. This team had been playing phenomenal hockey and they've got into a slump. If they make it to the playoffs, they're going to be out in the first round. They just don't have the energy left to finish off the season strong. They're dealing with injuries as well. So give me the Buffalo Sabres here on their home ice. Could go to overtime, but I like the over. You know, the over 1.5 in the first period is a nice way to go. And Alex Tuch for the assist. I do think that's a strong way. I like Alex Tuch and Tage Thompson. Both are their 2+ points out there on the ice. I do think if the win comes for Buffalo, it's because of the two of them. Now, the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes are both in action tonight. Second night of a back-to-back for both coming off that loss. The Washington Capitals lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins last night. Ovechkin was able to get a goal, but they lost that one 4-1. Plus 225 here for the Washington Capitals and minus 280 for the Carolina Hurricanes. Total of 5.5. Juice to that over at minus 124, plus 102 to the under. Now, looking at this matchup, I do think this one has the possibility, again, of going to overtime. I am going to take the Capitals. I think the Capitals have so much more to play for, and I know the Carolina Hurricanes are chasing the New York Rangers. This team absolutely wants the win tonight, but I do think the Washington Capitals need the win so much more. On the second night of a back-to-back, Washington isn't a team that I'm afraid to bet. They're strong on that second night of a back-to-back, and we saw the Carolina Hurricanes come out so flat last night versus Boston. Now, they had been off since Saturday, and they got back in action last night, and then back on the ice tonight, and I know Washington was as well, but Washington I like on the second night of a back-to-back. The Capitals plus 1.5 on that money line is coming in at minus 108, plus 225 on the money line. I'm going to hit both of those for the last 10 games between these two teams have gone to OT. So I do think an overtime play is in play with how much this game means. So the Washington Capitals have lost their last 4, including last night. So this team has been struggling. They're now 5th in the Metro. We know the Islanders bumped them out of that second wild card spot last night, 82 points here. They desperately need to get back into it. So they're 1 point behind the Philadelphia Flyers for the 3rd in the Metro and 1 point back of the New York Islanders for that last wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. Getting the win tonight would be huge for them. Ovechkin will be the player who leads his team to victory. Ovechkin for the 2+ points tonight. I know we played him last night for the 2+ points and he was only able to get the 1, but I do like him again. I'm going back to it. It's plus 310. Now, Jake Gunsel, though, for Carolina, he is being strong out there for them. I do lean for this one to be a higher scoring game. Darcy Kemper will be in goal for the Capitals, so they will need to score those goals on Kochetkov here for the Canes for them to be able to get this win. Jake Gunsel for the 2+ points here for Carolina coming in at plus 172. So I'm liking the player props tonight, you guys. Seth Jarvis for the anytime goal and the Canes minus 1.5. I don't know if I can get past the Canes at 1.5, laying the 1.5. They're 16-22 at home on that puck line, 17-20 only for the Washington Capitals. But I tell you, this Caps team on the second night of a back-to-back for an older team actually comes out to impress. Now let's look at the matchup between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. Total of 6.5, juiced at minus 122 to the over. An hour ago when I was looking at this, it was minus 130 to the over. So money is definitely coming in on the under at plus 100. The last meeting between these two teams was a lower scoring game. So I can see why people are starting to bet the under in this one. This is a battle of Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon. We know that they're battling with Nikita Kucherov for that top goal scorer, point leader in the league. Now, Nikita Kucherov had another phenomenal night. Nate McKinnon had a phenomenal night last night. Connor McDavid needs to get back in the action. Now, the Edmonton Oilers are minus 134 in the money line and plus 112 here for the Colorado Avalanche. I do think the Avs are the right side. They've actually dominated the meetings versus Edmonton. When we look at Edmonton, they've really been struggling against these top tier teams. So Colorado sitting second in the Central and second in the Pacific here for the Edmonton Oilers. I still don't trust in Stuart Skinner. I still don't trust in the defense here of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to take Colorado's team total. So if you look at the full game to the over, you're going to lay the juice. If you look at Colorado's team total over 3.5, you're getting it at plus 126. I do think they can come out and score 4 goals. This is going to be a sweat, though. I think we probably see these two teams start a little slower in this matchup. The last time that they matched up, we saw that it was, a 3-2 win for the Colorado Avalanche in a game that I was expecting to blow over that total. Now we're seeing money come in on the under. I think it's going to be the opposite in this game. Now, second night of a back-to-back here for Colorado. First night of a back-to-back for the Edmonton Oilers. They face Calgary tomorrow. Don't worry about that. All of their attention is on this game tonight. So give me the Avs here, team total over 3.5 at plus 126. Give me Nathan MacKinnon for the 2+ points. That's coming in at minus 118. The books have juiced this, you guys. They know he's going to be strong out there on the ice, but I do think there's still value. Connor McDavid for the 2+ points coming in at plus 100 tonight. I do like that as well. This is going to be a great game. Cale Makar. I love Cale Makar for the anytime goal. He's really been stepping up. Cale Makar for the power play points as well. You're going to get so much more value. And I do think if the Avs get on that power play, Cale Makar should be able to get the point, as well as Nathan MacKinnon. You look at Edmonton, and while they have a strong kill, again, against these elite teams, we see their struggles. Yeah, both teams to score in the first period. That's something I wrote the last time these teams played, and that one kicked me in the butt. But I do think this one starts off very strong. Now, the next game, the Seattle Kraken taking on the Anaheim Ducks. This is a huge pass for me, you guys. If you want to bet this game, I would just look at the Anaheim Ducks because they're at home at plus 142. You're getting plus money. Both of these teams have been eliminated. Both of these teams ready to go golfing out there. Grubauer and Gibson expected in net. Total of 5.5. These two teams have struggled to score all season, but I could see this one going to that over. If we just look at a couple of stats here, let me just pull them up for how these teams have done versus each other. I can't lay minus 178 on the Seattle Kraken, but they have won the last last 6 matchups versus the Anaheim Ducks. We have seen that over 5.5 hit in one of the last 3, and that was the last one on March 28th. We saw the Seattle Kraken win that 4-2 in Seattle. They also won on March 26th, 4-0 in Seattle. And in December, the Seattle Kraken won in Anaheim. That was a 3-2. Now, that means this is the 4th matchup of the season here. It's so hard for a team to be able to get the sweep on a season over their opponent. Seattle's won the first 3. Give me the Anaheim Ducks with that plus money. That's the only thing I'd bet if you want to bet it, but otherwise it's a complete pass. The last game out there on the ice, we had the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Arizona Coyotes. This is in Mullet Arena. You know how much I love the Coyotes in Mullet Arena. Now, let's look at the Arizona Coyotes. We know they are eliminated. The Vegas Golden Knights, so they're sitting 3rd in the Pacific right now. 75 games have been played. Edmonton's only played 74. So they've got 1 game in hand over Vancouver, who's played 76. They're sitting here with 92 points. Edmonton has 95. They're sitting 3rd in the Pacific right now. We have Nashville sitting in that wild card spot with 76 games and 92 points. So they've got to hold on to their positioning right now. They need this win. But looking at these odds here, we're getting the Arizona Coyotes at plus 146, minus 176 here for the Golden Knights. That total of 6.5 at plus 110 to the over. I'm going to look at this one to go to that over, you guys. I really do think the Arizona Coyotes at Mullet Arena looking to play upset, push Vegas into a higher scoring game. We know the goal scorers on the Vegas Golden Knights can come to play any given night, and this team has its strengths defensively and goaltending wise with Logan Thompson. But looking at these goals to come in, we could see them all out of Vegas, which I don't think. I think Clayton Keller comes into play for the Arizona Coyotes. He's plus 170 here for the anytime goal. Jack Eichel at plus 135 here for the Vegas Golden Knights. And William Karlsson, I love looking at him as well at plus 210. I'm going to look at these points. So the power play point for Jack Eichel at plus 175, I can't say no to. And Clayton Keller, the power play point at plus 180. I do think both of those players are able to get on the board with those power play points. Jack Eichel for the 2+ at plus 176 and Clayton Keller at plus 200. Again, I think this is a higher scoring one. Chandler Stevenson also a longer shot to look at for Vegas for the 2+ points, but I do think he can come into play in this one at plus 430. But again, give me this game over. Give me the first period over 1.5 as well. I think the fireworks come to start. I won't be shocked if the Arizona Coyotes score in the first period. So I will be looking at both teams to score in this game as well. Let me just pull up that both teams to score, as I can't remember the value off the top of my head in this one. So both teams to score in the first period. The over 1.5 is coming in at minus 122, you guys, and the both teams to score at plus 180. I do think it's a solid way to go with this game. It should be a hot night out there on the ice. Again, thank you for joining me for an early pocket with Jo. Had to get the show done. I'm going to go out for the afternoon, but you guys, all the best in all of your bets. Make sure you check out SportsGrid for all of the best action out there. If you haven't downloaded the app, check it out today. There's so much going on over there, including my best bet on the ice will be posted later on the app. So check it out. I also have some bets up on Twitter as well if you're looking for what I'm looking for in women's basketball tonight. It's going to be a hot night out there. So you guys, I'm headed out of studio. I will be back in studio later today, but all the best in all of your bets. We'll see you tomorrow.